This is July 19th, about 1 month and 2 days since I first planted my plants with the rain gutter grow garden system. And I just want to show you how we're doing, and I just got done mowing a little bit in my area, so I'm a little bit out of breath here. So I'm just going to give you a good view of everything, how everything has grown, which is quite incredible. I'm already eating cucumbers, and there's a lot of squash on, there's a lot of tomatoes growing. So we're going to go inside and take a look here. And as you can see, I've got 2 rain gutters with totes on and some bags. And the first rain gutter, this is the first one I put in, was right here. I'm going to go down and show you what I got going on. Remember the beans that I thought that the birds ate? Well, here's my beans. They got to be almost 2 feet tall. It's incredible. They're just starting to have blossoms on. So I think I'll have quite a few green beans. They're bush beans. And then they're somewhat crowding out the sweet Spanish onions. And they're starting to, well, they're coming along good, but they're really, that's our city 6 o'clock whistle. So I just wanted to show what our tomato plants are doing. They're just incredible. I've got some small tomatoes right here that are coming on. And these, I believe, are the Roma tomatoes. And then also I've got the red cabbage, which is coming along quite well, starting to form heads. Just showing, I've had some little worm that was eating on that one red cabbage, but I got those little buggers off. And this tomato plant, as you can see, has quite a few tomatoes on it. So I think I'm going to have a lot of tomatoes here. And it just, right now I would say these tomato plants are close to not quite 4 feet tall. And what I plan on doing is putting in a 2x4 in the ground here on the end, and going across to the edge of my gate so that I can string these tomato plants up, so if we get a strong wind it won't knock them over. So I should be picking beans here in the next day or so. They're just starting to blossom now. And my green pepper plants are coming along. The one little green pepper plant is not doing the greatest. It's growing okay, but it's just not going crazy. The yellow green pepper plant is really taking off and going. Okay, now we got to take a look at my bag system. I just put this in on the last video. Nothing was up yet. These are my beets. They're coming up real nice. And then of course my cucumber plants, I put in 2 cucumber plants and they're just growing all over. And I'm already eating cucumbers off this thing. It just keeps on going. A lot of little cucumbers on there right now. And you can see the rain gutter at the very end here. You know, it's all doing just fine. I'm going to show you the float system again on this rain gutter. The green in there is algae, which isn't hurting anything. And every time you can hear that water going, that's the plants drinking water, from what I can tell. You can somewhat hear it. Now, let's take a look at the second rain gutter system I got going. This is the last tote that I put in. And my neighbor brought over a watermelon plant that wasn't doing so hot, and that's doing quite well. In fact, it's got a blossom on it already. And then in between, I've got some kind of a German radish that my wife likes. She's from Germany. And so I put those in just a few days ago. They're already up. I can't believe how fast and every single seed I put in came up. And so anyway, the first tote, I thought the birds got all the green bean seeds, but they didn't. So I tried to transplant some over here. Beans do not like to be transplanted. And I thought they were going to die, and they took off and they're doing fine. My cauliflower plants are just taking off and going. They're doing quite well. And then I put some potato plants in the bags, and they're all doing fine. Show you this one. So I got four bags with potato plants coming. We'll see how that turns out. And then I've got a few holes in the leaves of these two cauliflower plants. Something like that. And then the thing that really amazes me is the two little squash plants I put in. You got to see this. I just put those in a month ago. Look at this. I mean, this squash plant, there's two runners. They're just going across the lawn here. They're on a protected area, so the deer aren't going to get anything here. And believe me, we've got a lot of deer around. They're just eating the flower beds right down to the ground. I'm thinking they're just getting away from the mosquitoes. Okay, now, the one thing I wanted to mention that we're probably not going to do the rain gutters next year. Much easier, faster, and cheaper is the kiddie pool system. You take a kiddie pool. These are some leftover old pots that I found. But the best way is Larry Hall's way to take a landscape, 3 or 4 foot wide landscape screen, and it's plastic, and you can use that to put your dirt in. I'll show you that on the next video. And then you can put your plants in. They'll look just like this, except it'll be landscape screening. And these tomato plants were just tiny. In fact, they were dying. They were not looking good. And all of a sudden they've taken off and they're doing just fine. So I think these are going to be as tall as these other ones, and I'll have all the tomatoes I can possibly eat and give away. So this is what the system looks like so far. You'll see through my fence, my little red barn, I've got some big black containers. I'm going to put 2 of those in with dirt, and I'm going to put another set of green beans in, because I know in a month I'll have green beans. So I have a second batch of green beans coming, and I should have lots of squash. In fact, I've got small squash already coming, and I believe this is acorn squash. Yep, you can already see some of the little ones coming in there. So this whole system is really quite amazing to me. First year I've done it. Next year this whole area is going to be like a jungle. It's 25 foot square, all enclosed. There's lots of room here, and it's going to be all kiddie pools. I get them on sale at Menards, probably coming up here in August. I think they're going to be on sale again for about $7 a piece, and I'll buy up probably about 10 of those, and I can reuse them. And what I do is I drill a small hole about 1.5 inches to 2 inches up to let the water come out in case we get a heavy rain. And then what I do is I put 1 inch of water in the pool, and of course these pots have holes in the bottom, and you soak them down until the water drips through, just like you do with the totes and the net cups. And then you set them down in 1 inch of water, and then you can also put a float in there, So you never have to water it, never have to weed it. And they grow, as far as I'm concerned, things grow twice as fast because they can drink as much as they want. They're not getting drowned, their roots aren't rotting, and there's a little bit of fertilizer in the dirt, so they're getting everything they need. And of course we've had some beautiful weather here in Minnesota, and so whether you've got a drought or you've got all the water you want, the system will work. In fact, I seen a video online where a guy out in the middle of the desert, I mean this is a desert, I think in Arizona, and of course he's got it enclosed because the critters would come in and eat that right to the ground. But he's got tomato plants that are, you can't even walk down the aisles, they're overgrown. So you can grow this stuff in a desert, you can grow it anywhere. Probably just, you can't grow it in the winter, of course. So whoever can come up with an idea to grow things in the winter would be wonderful. So this is the 4th video showing everything. The next video I'll probably show will be the large squash, all the squash and some of the nice tomatoes and some of the cucumbers and potatoes and everything else. So this is my experiment this year. Next year it's going to be, like I said, probably about 10 of these kiddie pools and a lot of things growing. So thanks for watching the video. Hope this helps.